Okay. I think that is, we're live now. Let me just check. Can you hear me? Testing one. Looks like it's really big. Haven't done this for a while, so just bear with me. It should be fine. All right. Okay. Hi everyone. It's been a while since I did a live stream on Professor Eggtop's YouTube channel, and yeah. Today I'd just like to go through some methods of how I've actually created some of these animations and how I animate in Modo. I also just want to make sure that this is working properly and you can see it properly. If it's a little bit off, let me know, and it should be okay, hopefully. That looks a bit weird there, but oh no, it should be okay. Yeah. Okay, sorry about that. So, if you have any questions, let me know. Just ask the questions in the chat there. And so, yeah, Professor Eggtop is going pretty well. We have over, how many subscribers now? Let's have a look. We've got over 422,000 subscribers. That's amazing. It blows my mind each time I see that that number. And we have the animated series that was completed last year in November. I wonder if you've, hopefully you've checked that out. It's 10 episodes that took 1 year to create. They're 11 minutes each. And yeah, if you haven't checked them out already, check them out. And they're on the website. Yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe. It is made for kids content. Some of the videos are made for kids content, so there's no comments or anything. But if you can like it and subscribe, that would be awesome. At the moment, this year I took a bit of a break after the animation series production because it was very stressful. But now I'm back, fully back, making shorts, and more recently making some 3D, making some 360 VR videos. And today I am wanting to show you how I make those using Modo, and also how I'm going to be posting a new 360 video soon, but it will have a live action background, and I just wanted to show you how I make it and how I film it with this 360 camera. Can you see that? 360 camera. So it's got a lens on this side, lens on this side. And it is called the Insta360 RS with a Leica lens. Let's have a look. I should be able to bring up the website here. Let's have a look if I get rid of that. Yeah, there we go. So bring up. This is the camera I have. It's very cool. It does some great 360 videos, and I will be doing a lot more filming around Brisbane to do some more 360 videos with Professor Eggtop. And if you haven't seen it already, this is one of the 360 videos on the YouTube channel. So when you look at a 360 video on a desktop, you can use your mouse to move around the environment like this. But also, if you use your phone So let's just go back to the big camera. If you use your phone and you look at the 360 video, you can actually move the phone around in 360 space. It's really, really cool. So let me just bring it up here. Going. Internet is a bit slow. But if you go here, go to content, and pick the 360, let's say it's 360 Mars, and press play. So let me just bring it up. It's buffering. They are quite large, so they do take a bit of data to buffer. But let's just pause that. So if you can see on the mobile phone here, you can move around in 3D space. Can you see that? So check it out. You can also use your finger and move around. Oh, play it. Play. You can move around like that on your phone. And there's a bit of animation there. You've got the mecha there going around. So yeah, check it out. You can move around like this, or you can move around your finger, or if you're looking at it on your desktop, you can get rid of that. You can use your mouse to move around like so. So if I play that, I better not play it because it's the internet might play up. But yeah, check it out. So I'm going to show you today how I use this 360 camera, and yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Circle Butt, hi, how's it going? Thanks for commenting. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about the process or anything like that, let me know. Okay, so this is the footage that it comes from the 360 camera, from the from this camera, and I'm bringing it into Premiere, and it comes in like this. It's spread out, so the 360 is like a sphere, but when you bring it into Premiere, you can spread it out, and it looks like this. So this video here is of me. Let's see if it will play. Will it play? There we go. So it is of me at the local park in Brisbane here, the Botanical Gardens. And you can see that it's distorting it around the edges. That's because it is a 360 video. So here I was actually going to film some just normal videos, normal backgrounds for Professor Eggtop. And before I go into the 360 again, let me just explain to you how I am now filming normal Professor Eggtop shorts. I'm using the Pocket Osmo, the DJI Pocket Osmo 3. It's a great gimbal that shoots in 4K. You can flick on this the screen here, and the gimbal moves around like that. And you have the screen there, like so. And that's how I filming the backgrounds now with this gimbal. It's fantastic resolution, fantastic gimbal. It makes it very smooth. And when I was at the Botanical Gardens last time, I was filming some backgrounds for the shorts, and I put the Osmo camera on a big 3-meter extendable pole, and you can see here that I am got the big pole here, and the camera is on the end, so I can get really high up it's sort of a similar like a drone height. Well, not so much of it, not so high, but it is a new or a different perspective. And yeah, just moving back and forth here in this 360 video here on this in Premiere. So with this these videos, what I would do is, let's just pick a video here, for example. Let's double click on this one. Okay, this is a new 360 video animation that I'm doing right now. And you can see there's a fountain on the background. And what I need to do is that I need to take a still of this. So we'll take a still there, and I'll just save that to the proper place. So stills, yeah. Okay, and then I will open Modo to start creating. Let's leave that open for a bit. This is Modo. This is the software I use for creating the Professor Eggtop animations. I don't use Blender. Blender is good. It's free software. I haven't used it for a long time, but I have been using Modo for probably over 10-15 years now, and it's great software for what I do. So what I need to do is bring in the background image into Octane. So if I just bring in Octane is the external renderer that is now in Modo. And what I need to do is bring in the background. So I go to the, not the kernel. I'll actually just change this to 100. So 5,000, it defaults at 5,000 for the max samples. The resolution of the renders, and that's really quite too high. So I'd take it down to 100 for tests, and maybe go up to 200 for renders. But for the 360 renders, it's actually quite a large render frame. I render at 4,000 by 2,000, so it's a bit, it takes a long time. So 100, 150 for the kernel there is the max samples is fine. So if I go to, let me make a new web workspace. So I'll go render workspace, make that active, and then bring in the not the texture environment, I need to make here I need to make this not the lighting but the visible environment there, and then bring in the visible the use RGB color here and click that for the background. Then I need to bring in a new texture. So RGB image. Oh, I clicked that twice. Shouldn't have done that. RGB image here. And then I can hook I can't hook that way, but I need to hook this way. But then it only goes into the R. So I'll just hook all those up like so. And then I will just check this. Okay. And now I will add the image. I'll bring in an image here. So add clips, load an image, and I will go to the Botanical Gardens and stills, and I'll bring in this background here, and I'll drag that into this schematic here and add that to the file name. I need to, because I want it to be on the camera or the environment, I need to change the projection, not the Octane Mesh UV projection. I need to change that to projection and change that to a sample position to UV. I don't know what that means, but that's what we need to do. So bring that in there, and then I will turn on Octane, like so. And we'll wait for Octane to kick in. So how many other people in this live stream actually do 3D and 360 videos, for example? How many of you use Blender, Maya, 3D Studio Max? I used 3D Studio Max for 15 years when I was living in Japan, and then I was living in, I came to Australia, back to Australia in 2007, and the studio that I was working at and doing some Disney content, they were all using, at that time, they were using 3D Studio Max. But yeah, 3D Studio Max is not my favorite software. It crashed a lot. But what other software does everybody use for their animation, if they are doing some animation? If you're wanting to get into animation, just ask some questions, and I maybe might be able to answer them. So anyway, you can see now the background here is in Octane, the 360 view. And let me just change that to, say, 200, the resolution, 200 by 100. So these this camera takes footage that is the ratio is horizontal and is twice the size as the vertical. So I start off at 200 by 2000 by 1000. Okay, so now I have that in there as the background. Now I need to make sure that I have a good path or a good ground plane. So the camera was put on an extension monopod, and it was about 1.6 meters tall. So the camera needs to go at, say, 1.6, and we'll put it right in the center and horizontal. So that is the position of the camera. I'll just stop Octane for now, and I'll go back to the Modo main layout and bring up the camera visibility here. Just press O. So the camera is here, pointing that way. It's at 0, 0, 0, but not 0, 0, 0. It's at a height of 1.6 meters. Okay, and I will just lock that in place. Lock there. Okay. Now I need to I need to know where the path is, or the ground plane for the 360. Obviously it's at 0, 0, 0, but in this still 360 video, I have water on one side. Let me just bring it up. So here, I have water over here, I have a grass plane here. I want Professor Eggtop to run around here, and I'll have Gerald at the top here, and he can jump on the building and then jump off and scare Professor Eggtop, and Eggtop can fall backwards into the water. But what I need to know and need to find out is where this path is and how I can animate this path on this path. So what I'll do now is I'll just make some reference cubes here. And I'll just make that the bottom, the pivot point at the bottom. So that's at 0, 0, 0, and I'll just move that out to the front, like so. And then I'll go back into Octane, render it, and let's just bring it back. So this cube is 1 meter by 1 meter squared. So it's a 1 meter squared cube. And if I move this around, you can see it's updating in Octane. Okay, and it's at 000. The camera, 1.6. Yep, but I need to change the Octane camera, because at the moment, I need to get out of the assembly. I need to get out of lock. I need to change this camera to a 360 camera. Okay, so if we go into and click on this camera icon here, at the moment it's thin lens, and thin lens is just a normal camera in Modo. If I click on that and change it to panoramic, you'll see that the cube, let's change it back. Thin lens is here, but if I change it to, which is just a panoramic, the thin lens is just a normal camera, which is not what I want. I want the panoramic, and you can see that the cube moved all the way back there, and that's what I need. So now when it renders out, the Octane will render out as a 360 video. Okay, so that's good. Let me just close that. Now this is where the camera is here. I'll just lock that again so I don't move it. Okay, and then the cube, if I move the cube around now, you can see it updating in Octane here. Okay, so that's a good spot for there, but I want to make the path like a ground plane for this path. So let's just duplicate this cube, Control D, and I'll move it over here. Okay, so that means that the path, let me go to a top view here. So this path here is going that way. Okay, let's duplicate another cube. Goes over there. Okay, so we're getting an idea of where the path is. Duplicate the cube again. Way back up here. Okay, so the camera is at 0 here, and so I want Eggtop probably to run around the back and then go up this path here, which is probably over here. So let's duplicate this one, go behind the camera. Okay, so now it looks like the cube is split in half, but it's actually, when this is rendered out and put in a 360 view, a viewer, like in YouTube, like I showed you earlier, you can see that is just the path. It's a 360 view, so that is totally fine. I'll bring it really close. So this, this goes under the camera, that's what it looks like when it goes under the camera. Pretty wild. But if I go back behind the camera, okay, so that is the same cube. Okay, so looking down, that curve there, that's the path so far. Let's make another cube. Okay, so we want the path. Okay, it needs to go there, around there. Okay, let's make another cube. So I want to go up behind these flowers there. Okay, so it's going around there. Going around there. So that is the path of where Professor Eggtop can run along there. Okay, so then let's do one more, and let's put, okay, so the cube is there. Just make it bigger, and this can be for the tower, this building. Okay, so there. It's a fair way back away from this. I remember filming this. It's probably, so if that's the path, there. It's probably a bit more back over there. Obviously I don't have the measurements, but this is good enough because it's not a moving camera. It's just a still camera that you can turn around and check it out. And that's kind of where the building is. Just very quickly doing a quick mock-up. I won't go into too much detail about that, but that's the building there. Let's just put all these in a folder and call that ref. Let's save the scene just in case everything crashes, because sometimes it does. Just put that in there. Okay, cool. Call it test. Okay. Now, let's have a look at creating the path. So get out of Octane, go back to Modo. Here we are. This is where the reference cubes are. Let's make a new mesh. Go to the top view. Let's make a cube here. Sort of a plane. Here, let's make it the bottom. Make sure it's at. Let's go a bit 0, 0 there. Okay. So what we can see from the top view is we can go, okay, so the path starts sort of over here. Let's give it a few more edge loops. Go in there, like that. Then let's go 0, 0, 0. Press Z, make another polygon, rotate that. So this is just roughing it out. Z, another polygon here, doing that. Z, again, make more polygons. Okay, so let's just look at that through Octane to see what it looks like. Let's give it a material. Just call this sort of ground path. Give it a bit of a grayish, bluish color. Call this here geo path. That comes up there, like so. Let's give those reference cubes also a color. Ref cubes. Let's give it a nice color that we can see. Let's say orange. Yep. Oh, and then the building. Let's give that another color. So building, and give that a bluish color. Simple. Okay, and then let's go back to the Octane render. See what this looks like in Octane. Let's open Octane like so. If you have any questions, just write them down, type them down into the chat, and I'll answer them as soon as I can. If I can. Okay, so everything's a bit black. So what we need to do, because we don't have an environment in there, this is a visible environment. What we need is a lighting environment. So let's go and create a new environment. And there we go. And that you can see here is a lighting environment, and that is a visible environment. So the lighting environment is using these colors here, but let's actually use the physically based daylight because it's outside. So let's use the directional light, which is in here. And let's give that directional light a physical sun. And this was early in the morning. It was about 8 o'clock in the morning. So let's go 8 a.m. And there we have it. We have a bit nicer lighting. Very simple lighting, which is great because this is outside. There's no clouds in the sky. It was a beautiful blue sky. So this is fine at the moment for now. And let's just give all these an octane material reference cubes. We don't want them to be glossy or anything. We'll just do that. So when we click the octane, an octane thing, it defaults to a diffuse. The ground path I clicked before I changed this. This is specular and Fresnel there. That makes it a bit reflective. So it's created a glossy octane material. We don't want that. We'll just make it, change it to a diffuse. It changes over here. That's fine. And what we need to do now, I'll just give the building a octane one as well. That is actually glossy because it's lots of windows, so we'll just leave that as glossy as it is. Go back to the ground path. We can see the ground path here now, and it's not too bad. It is not too bad. Let's select the ground path, and if I move this way, you can see the edge of the path there, and go in a bit. So I want the edge of the path to go on that. You can see up here, edge of the path. Okay, and then we move this way. You can see the edge of the path there. We just move it out. Getting close. This one is the grass area. So if we move this one in, oh, bit too far. Let's see. We might need a few more polygons to get this a bit more accurate. What we could do is just stop that for now. Go back to the here and give it a bit more, a few more polygons, just so we can create a nicer path, more accurate path, I should say. Give it a few more here. More here. Hi, Emad Gaming. No, Emad Gaming? Emad. How's it going there? Thanks for joining. If you have any questions, just post them in there and I'll see if I can answer them. Okay, so what I will actually do now is I will add some loops to the sides here and to the end, edge loops like that, and then press a tab so it becomes a subsurface, not a subsurface, a sub D, and that will make it smooth, so it'll be easier to check it out in Octane. So let's open the Octane render here and turn on Octane. Okay, so you can see the path is actually looking not too bad. Not too bad at all. Let's have a look, see how far we need to move it back. Okay, so the edge is there. Let's have a look here. Bring this down. Oh, too far. This way. Is this one here? Bring this one out. Whoa. Oh, there we go. There's the path there. Okay, there's the path. as I said, this is not a moving camera. So if it was a moving camera, that's a different tutorial. But this is not a moving camera. So I can do this quite simply in getting the idea, or basic idea of where, let's go to the top here, where the path is. Doesn't need to be perfect. This bit here is around here. Is it? Oh no, it's too far. This one. Okay, and this one. Right. And this can go out probably there. I don't need to worry about it. He's not going to go up behind here, or I can cut it out anyway, or mask it out later. This in the pond. Let's have a look at that here. So that's the edge there. Bring that back out. Okay, cool. Great to listen to your project. Hey, Kim, how's it going, mate? Kim uses Maya, so this is going to be an interesting live stream for him. Looking at Modo. Kim was on the production for Eggtop series. He was a layout artist. Always came up with some great ideas. It was awesome to have him on the team. But I would always used to say, Modo is better than Maya. And I still believe that. Thanks for joining, Kim. Okay, so that's a bit wonky. Up here, it doesn't need to be so nice and clean interface. It certainly is. Takes me back on the production. Okay, so there we have basically the path there. It is a bit wonky. Usually I would make this much cleaner indeed. I do need a grass area here, so let's just get out of the Octane, turn that off, come back into Modo layout, and click that. Yep, Modo layout. Go here, go to top view, make another, press N on the keyboard and make another mesh item. Go here, make another plane, and then make the center, pivot point in the center, bring it back over here into the center. Still, Steve Hill has a great primitives kit to do all these primitives much faster. So if you have the time to look at Steve Hill's kit for that, it's really cool. But I do have it installed, but for this live stream, I'll just use the normal Modo primitives. Let's just make this, go to top view. This is the grass area. I will actually make it like 1 millimeter underneath the path, so it doesn't clip through the path. And let's add another edge loop here. Bring that down to there. Select the polygons, create a material, and put this as a grass. Make it green, like that. Okay, so it's green. So we got the path, we got the reference cubes, and we've got the ground plane here for the grass. And then let's save that. Let's go back into the Octane render. Okay. Octane render. Bring that back up. Okay. There we go. So the grass is there now. So let's just rename this GeoGrass and go into the shading. If you're familiar, and Kim would be very familiar with this, the shader, the hyper shader in Maya takes forever to open. It's really, really annoying. But as you can see, the shader tree here in Modo opens really quickly. You can change it very quickly. That was one of the worst things about using Maya, was the hyper shader. Didn't like that at all, coming from Modo. So, okay, so I didn't change it from a glossy material, but let's just change it to a diffuse material. It still has the green. The green is a bit too bright, so let's just take that down. What we want to do is we want these to be shadow catchers, not polygons that we can see in the renderer. So it's very simple to do that. So with the grass, we can select the grass diffuse material here and click on shadow catcher. So it disappeared in the Octane renderer, but if we take our cube and we move it over the grass and bring it here, you can see there is a shadow here. So if I move it closer to 0, 0, 0, yeah, here. Okay, you can see there's a bit of a shadow here. So if I go and turn off the grass, no shadow. I don't know whether you'll be able to see it on the live stream, but there's no shadow there. If I turn the grass back on, you can see there is a bit of a shadow. Let's turn up the lighting. So we go to the daylight environment. No, this is the texture environment. Visible. Yeah, I don't want the visible. I want this one. Lighting settings. Go out of that. Lighting, and then go into here. No. White texture, visible settings. So let's use turn this up. Okay, so that makes it really bright. Use the Modo environment. So that's this here, the intensity, same thing. So if I go 3, it turns it up, but we don't want it 3, just to 1. But if we go to here, the physical sun, texture environment, let me just check this out for a second. There we go. Okay, daylight environment, that's what I wanted. See, you can see the shadow there now. It's pretty of a harsh shadow. It's early in the morning, so we don't really need such harsh shadows. So to change, there's a bit of a blur at the ends here, but to change that, in the daylight environment settings, you have the sun size here. So we take that and we increase it to say 25. You can see that the shadows have become very diffuse, very soft. Change it back down to say 15 there, and we can see that the sun is rising from over here, so it's actually not too bad, this where the sun is at the moment. So we'll just leave it like that. We can change the sky color to be a bit more, not so blue. Just change that a little bit there, and we got the sun intensity here, so let's just change that down to maybe 0.3. He's sort of like getting there. 0.45. Yeah, getting there. Looking okay. Let me just check something here. Okay. All right. Okay. So we've got the shadows there. Let's check that again. So we've got the grass here, which is a shadow catcher, and we turn off the grass, the shadows goes away. We turn back on the grass, we've got the shadow catcher there. We've got the lighting set up. We've got these references in here. We've got the reference for the building. And what we can do now is we can actually give the path its own shadow catcher as well. So let's go into here, shadow catcher. And so now you can see there's the shadows being caught by the shadow catcher of the path and of the grass. So that is how I would, for a 360 video, that is how I would create the ground plane, and then I would bring in the characters. So let's just, for now, turn that off. Go back into Modo. Layout, save that. Let's import Gerald. See how that goes. So I'll go to here, models, and Gerald. Okay. So the characters I have rigged with ACS3. Comes in with the character and its own light, so we don't need that. We'll just take that out and delete those there. Do you want to delete all items? Yes. I rigged them with ACS3. So if we just bring up the ACS3 here, and we can look at, for example, Gerald. Look at his, there he is. He's got a bit of animation on him at the moment. Let's just check out, yeah, let's give him a blank action, just so he's bracket 000, no animation on him. And then no keyframes here. So those blocks, as I said before, those blocks are 1 meter cubed. So the Gerald is actually quite large there. He's probably nearly 50 centimeters. 50 centimeters. It's actually quite large. But he is actually scalable. The creator of ACS3 kit, Lucas, I requested to make a scalable ACS3 rig. So, and he made it because he's a genius. He's awesome. Let me just select the path and grass. I don't want to select them by mistake. So go into select the meshes, go into assembly, go into a select and choose no. So now I can't select it by mistake. He made him scalable, which is fantastic, because as people who have seen my channel, Gerald gets very large. So he's actually, you can see here the Y scale. If I press R on the keyboard, I can scale him up, and the rig is perfectly fine. It works great. So thank you, Lucas, for doing that. Hopefully that will be coming through to the new Modo 17.1. everybody be able to do that if it's ported over in time. The only issue would be with the scaling is I need to change the fur manually, because the fur isn't scaled accordingly. I could probably rig it up to do that, because all I would need to do is to go into the fur material here and rig the spacing, length, and the width for when he gets bigger. When I scale him up, that would do it automatically, but I haven't done that yet. In fact, I probably will do that in the future. But let's just, for now, see what he looks like. Whoop. Here, and let's bring him back a little bit so he's not on 0, 0. Let's put him on where this cube is here, and let's click F on the keyboard to find the selection within the item list and turn that off. Let's go back. Let's save it actually, and let's go back to the Octane render and turn on Octane. See what he looks like. Okay, so this will take a little bit. Oh, an error has occurred. So there he is there. Let's look at the error, see what it is. Okay, Octane has an issue with UV maps. If there's more than one UV map, or some, not an issue with UV maps, but just it's best to have one UV map in your characters. So if I select Gerald there, go to the vertex map list. Okay, there's a texture selected here. I don't want that, so let's just delete that. And yeah, that should have gotten rid of that error. So let's get rid of that and turn the Octane off again and turn it on again. Let's see if that error comes up. Nope, all good, no error. So this log is good to use when you have some, what you call it, some testing to do. If there is an error or something like that, use the log to solve it. Okay, so let's go back into the item list. We can see Gerald here. He's looking pretty cool, but he doesn't have any fur on him. So what we need to do is go into the, I think it's camera, and go in. Oh, we need to, is it camera? Let me just check. This is all grayed out because I've locked it. But is it settings? No. Camera. No. Post. No, it's not camera. It is in the kernel, and it is in settings. I need to tick on use Modo render cache, because Octane doesn't have its own within Modo. It doesn't read the fur material settings as is. We need to change the fur and change it to strips. We can't have cylinders. We need to change it to strips, and we need to turn on use Modo cache renderer. Use Modo render cache here, and then let's turn it off again, and let's see if that works. Bang. Okay, so it's opening the scene using the Modo render cache. Oh, it's not there again. Okay, we've got a couple of issues. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so let's see if we can see them by upping the length, because he's quite large. As I said before, when I scale Gerald, the fur doesn't scale with him. So I need to update the fur length and the spacing and the width every time I scale him. So let's just see if that works. It doesn't seem to be wanting to do it. Let's just, okay, so it strips. Turn off view full frost from culling. We don't need that. Let's 35. Let's that should be enough. Let's see if that works. Turn it off. I do have the use the settings. Use Modo render cache yet. Turn it on. Load scene into Octane. Not responding. That's not good. Could be the first crash of the day. If that's a crash. Too many vertices. Check the event log. Increasing maximum vertices. Okay, so that is a fur thing. You can see it here. He does have fur now, but there's too many. So I need to change that from 1 millimeter. Let's change it up to 3 millimeters. So this is the spacing between each fur strand. So 1 millimeter obviously was too much. So if we up that, it should be okay. So let's turn that off. Let's save that because too many polygons for too many polygons from mesh, Gerald. Okay, so that is the log error, and it's to do with the fur creating too many polygons for his fur. Hopefully in the future, Octane will actually read the native fur material and this error hopefully won't happen, but it does happen sometimes. So Circle Buzz doing a whole lot of emojis there. Got a medal there. Okay, here we go. So he's got fur there now. Let's just open that a bit so we can see the fur there. Let's change the length again to making it a little bit more. So 65. Let's change that to 2. And I want to give him a length map here. So that is a vertex map that gives determines the length of Gerald's fur around his body. Because at the moment around his body it's all the same length. So let's turn off Octane again, save that, and actually I'm going to open some VRAM. So I'm going to get close Premiere. So it's probably in the background taking up a bit too much VRAM. And so hopefully this will help with rendering space in Octane. Okay, so let's turn on Octane again. Okay, so it's fine now. So we can see Gerald now has some fur. He's looking pretty good. Let's make it a bit longer again. 75 millimeters. And yeah, let's take the spacing down to 1.8. See if that is okay. Let's refresh. Okay. All right, so that's looking much better. Okay, so he has the shadow capture and everything. It's looking pretty good. His eyes are looking a bit grey, so let's look at his eyes there. Let's bring up the eye. It's a glossy material. It's a bit grey, so let's bring that. There we go. So now his eyes are a bit better. Okay. So what we can do now is close Octane there, go into Modo, and when I animate characters, let's just bring up that. When I animate characters in Modo, let's bring his center back here, doing it around. Let's just give him a bit of a walk towards the camera. I usually animate in 25 PAL because we're in Australia, and it's easy to change to 24 if it needs to be 24 frames per second. I often pick a frame count to animate on. So if it was a normal walk for a human, I would probably keyframe every 5 frames and then adjust it accordingly if I wanted to go faster or slower. So what I mean by that is, let's just make sure that the actor, which is Gerald, and the action is Gerald's action there, and bring up the animate interface here. I bring up the animation interface. It's probably going to be updated soon for 17.1, but I like to have it floating here at the moment because I still use these other this other interface here, the Modo original interface, for other animations that don't use ACS3 rigging. These are basically just for ACS3 rigging rigs. So let's maybe have him start off just like a normal pose, give him pressing shift and the key all frame. You see the brackets come across that. If it's just this one, it's just the selected locator that is keyed, but I want to key all, so let's key all. We get the first keyframe here. Ticking on this eye here indicates that it is the actor channels that are being shown here. Gerald is selected. Okay, so when he first starts moving, he needs to maybe move down a bit and then start to move forward. So let's do I like every 5th frame here, and we can change the length between each frame later on. So let's give him another keyframe on frame 5. So we got another keyframe there, and let's bring him down a little bit. So, and let's. So he's moving down there. I want to turn off viewport objects. That's a Modo thing. You can go to the Modo Slack or Discord to turn off viewport objects because it's not very good for animation. Here and then keyframe that, and then let's keyframe him forward a little bit and lift his little paw up like that, and then maybe go on this other side. So animals usually do the opposite sides. So let's bring up this here, bring that forward like that, bring his hip forward, maybe rotate this back leg up a bit so he's like pushing off that, and keyframe that. So that is the first 3 keyframes, him pushing off the ground like so. Very simple. Let's go to the next 5 frames. Very long between frames. I'll probably shorten this to like 2 frames, or yeah, probably 2 frames. But at the moment, it's easier to check the silhouettes at 5 frames. It's easy to handle. So let's bring that up. Let's select that one, and bring it forward, like so. And then let's select that and bring that forward. Okay, so you can see that his knee, which is up here, is passing through the knee locator, which is here. So if I just bring that out there and go into the graph editor, which is down here, and delete all those ones. It will stay out here. I'll do it on this one as well. Graph editor, and knee, bring that out here so it doesn't get that strange deformation. Take down the graph editor. Okay, circle, but yeah, Gerald is cute. Here he is being animated. Glad you like it. So now his knee, his leg is doing okay now. So is that. Let's bring this one here. Let's bring that forward. Bring it out maybe like that. And take the rotation off so he can there, step there. Got another 5 frames. This one he can, let's just say he plants it on the ground, move this forward, plant it on the ground. That can be moved there. This one here, plants it, take the rotation out, plants it on the ground, like that. Now you can see his right paw is not stretching and keeping on the ground there. So what we can do is we can go into the animation controls, which is here for the rig, select the foot, go into the channels here, and we can turn on, go way back here, turn on OK stretching to 100% there. Now if I go here, it's been keyed. So if I go into where are we? OK stretching, and delete those keyframes, it will stay at 100%. Okay, get rid of that. So now you can see that it is stretching and looks much better. It's staying where it is. But what we need to do is go back and get rid of that. Give him a bit of a rotation on the front paw here. That, like so. We can grab his collarbone here, maybe pull it out a little bit like that, so we can see the leg. He's moving pretty far, but that's okay. When he's moving fast, it will look okay. So if we go back to the first frame, he moves down, starts walking. Like so, he's taking his first step. Like so. He's even got a blink in there. Blink. Makes his first step like that. So that is how I animate Gerald. So if we go, just save that. If we go back to Octane, because it's a deforming animation or deforming character, we need to make sure that Gerald in the Octane menu here, reload mesh each frame. Okay, we need to tick that, and then we need to go into where his eyes and that are located, not those locators, in here in Gerald, and then also, well, it's already been ticked, so that's good. So each frame, when we move forward, he will be updating, hopefully. So let's save that, turn on Octane. Okay, coming in now. Okay, so there's Gerald at frame 20. We go back to frame 5. And update. He should move back. Yep, he's moved back there. So that is how we create. Let me just go into here, assembly, lock, default. Okay. Panoramic, yep. Yeah. Probably want enable denoising on. Turn that on. Oh, it's good to have that on. And then host. Okay, cool. Okay, so that's how it's set up. A 360 environment is set up in Octane and Modo. Then you'll just need to, when you're rendering out animations, you need to go to the animation tab, browse to where you want to save the animation. I often use a 32-bit EXR and multi-layer, and that will create it's actually very large files that will allow to have like reflections, shadows, ambient occlusion, material IDs, all in one file, an EXR file, and I'll render those out and bring it into the compositing software, which I use is After Effects. So we've gone for probably, what, an hour and a half, an hour at the moment. So yeah, that's how I create 360 videos. There will be this one. I've actually just finished it, and it will be released this weekend. So hopefully, if all goes well, yeah. So check that out. If you have any questions, just leave a comment in the live stream, and yeah, I'll be doing more of these live streams moving forward. If you have any questions or any Modo questions or filming questions or Professor Eggtop questions, just put them in the chat or in the comments, and I'll see if I can get to them. Also, if you would like to support the channel, there is the opportunity now to become a member. So if you go to the channel here, you can see memberships. So in the memberships, there's special behind the scenes, like photos from the production, updates, and perks from that only members can receive. So if you feel like you would like to support the channel, because animation is very time consuming and it takes a long time to do, and at the moment I'm doing this by myself, and it would be awesome if you want to support the channel. Even just liking and subscribing and commenting also helps the channel, but becoming a membership is like a monthly dollar, $2 or something like that, and that goes a long way to helping me making more content. So thanks for watching. I'll be doing more of these live streams moving forward, and yeah, hopefully